So not only is it Black Speculative Fiction Month, you know, October is also the month that we celebrate Halloween. And for some of y'all, this is like a month-long celebration. You're decorating and everything like that. So some of you also are reading and watching movies along the same vein. So I just want to take a few minutes to show you stuff that we have, and stuff that I have stories in that kind of related to Halloween, and you know, kind of get you going if that's the kind of vibe you want to get into reading this month. So first and foremost, we're going to start off with our latest release, Scary Tales, which is by yours truly and has a collection of horror stories. I'm not particularly a horror writer, but I have a lot of friends that do it, and which got me intrigued into writing stuff myself. So these are short stories that I wrote over the years, and I basically collected them into one volume. There are two new stories in here that I hadn't released yet. One of them is called When Petey Came Back, and the other one is called Battle Axe. And these stories range from supernatural to vampires to werewolves, all kind of stuff. It's a short read for those of you who don't like to read a long time, and I think you'll enjoy it. I've got out there, got some good feedback, so I think that's one you want to check out. Another book that you may want to check out, which is published by Mocha Memoirs Press, is Blackened Roots, an anthology of the undead. This is a collection of zombie stories written by Black authors, and some of them deal with the traditional zombie origins, and some of them go way out and stuff like that. One of the stories from Scary Tales Initiation was a story that I wrote initially for this book. It's a collection of other authors. I'll give you an idea of some of the other authors in here. Eden Royce, Craig L. Gitney, Samiko Salson, Mark Abbott, Steve Van Patten, Brandon Massey, Eric Nunnally, and the other authors in here. These are authors that specialize in horror. So I think you'll really enjoy this one if you're into zombies and want to read something that's written by Black writers. Another one that I have here is actually takes us into Sword and Soul. And this one is The Turning of the Bones by Balogun Ojitade. Now, this story is written in the world of Kikanga. It's a world that we created for our Kikanga role-playing game. And if you read the Kikanga books, you'll know that Balogun wrote a book earlier called Beneath the Shining Jewel, which dealt with zombies invading the largest city of Kikanga called Sadi Ba. He returns to his stories about the zombies, but this time it's taking place in another part of Kikanga. And there's a whole nother situation as far as political intrigue and kingdoms and stuff like that. So it's a really great book. I really enjoyed it. I think you'll enjoy that one too. We have another book which is more supernatural than it is horror, but I think you'll like it anyway. This one's called The Long Walk, written by yours truly. And it's about a young girl. We created this alternate history world that takes place in the 1870s, where Harriet Tubman is a superhero. And she and some other supernatural Black people live in the town of Nicodemus, and where they protect Nicodemus. They're like the dream team for Nicodemus. Well, our main character in this book, Patience Devetrell, is coming from Trinidad to with her father to deliver a powerful talisman to Harriet Tubman. Something happens along the way, and now she's being escorted to this city by two guardians, and a lot of stuff happens in this one. Like I said, there's a lot of supernatural stuff going on in here. I don't want to give you all the details. I think you'll really enjoy the book. So check this one out as well. Now, this one is interesting. This is one that's not by me. It's by Kirk Johnson. Kirk writes Sword and Soul as well, and it's called Obanax. And the reason I bring this up, because there's a story in here, and I'm hoping I remember the title of that one right, because it is I think it's the one called Cock and Bull, but this story is a cosmic horror story. And I mean, this story will when I read it and it got to this certain scene there, and you talking about cosmic horror, when you can actually feel what the characters are going to based on the words of the author. It was really intense book, a really intense story. If you decide to pick this book up, which I think you should, because it's some great Sword and Soul, look out for that story if you're looking for something that's like horror or supernatural bent. Now, the next two I have are actually comic books. The first one is one that we just let out recently, from Keith Gaston, called Going Nowhere. This is a great combination of weird Western and African American history and folklore. It's about 6 Buffalo soldiers that have been assigned to take a particular prisoner to the town of Nowhere, which is a Black town out west, and they found out that their prisoner is more than he's been portrayed to be, and this causes some serious issues in the town, and the Buffalo Soldiers having to step up and protect the town. There's another one that I wrote that you've read that comes from one of my series that you've read, that you've seen, and it's called The Blood Seekers. The Blood Seekers actually would enter into that realm of supernatural / horror. It's about my two characters, Shange and Majoga, who are assigned to go to this particular city where people have been disappearing in the middle of the night. And the reason that they've been disappearing is the reason that puts this book in that supernatural and horror category. And last but not least is another book we just released, Terminus 3. Now, Terminus 3 is a collection of a variety of stories, but there's one particular story in here which is basically horror. It's called The Body Farm by Elena Davis. Yes, we are related. And I think it's a great story. It has a little bit of humor and a lot of horror, contemporary horror, and I think you'll enjoy it in addition to the other stories that are in this book. And there's one book that I don't have with me because I sold out of it, and that's Slay. It's the stories of a vampire noir. It's a collection of stories about black vampires. It's published by Mocha Memoirs Press. One of the stories that I have in Scary Tales, Bloodline, I was a story that I'd written long ago, and Nicole Gibbons-Kurtz, the publisher, approached me and said, "Hey, do you have something horror and something for vampires?" And I told her about that story, and actually it was because of her that I pulled this out and completed the story, and it's gotten a lot of feedback. As a matter of fact, the cover art of Scary Tales is based on that story, Bloodline, so to give you an idea of what it's about. But yeah, check it out. So look for all these titles available from yours truly, anywhere books are sold. If you're looking for a little bit of horror and a lot of flavor, you may want to check these out. Y'all take care. Peace.